So, you've been volunteering or maybe doing bits of agency work here and there, and you're starting to wonder, what do I actually need to do to land a proper, stable TA job? You've done the groundwork, but somehow schools still see you as temporary help, not part of the team. So, let's fix that. Hello there. I'm Lauren from TA in Control, and after 20 years supporting students in classrooms, I now help TAs in their roles and with their interviews. And the biggest reason why TAs get stuck with doing odd days for agencies or volunteering isn't lack of knowledge or experience, it's strategy. So let's dive in. In this video, I'll show you how to turn those short-term opportunities into solid long-term school positions, even if you've never had a contract before. Now, one, the real reason you're stuck in short-term roles. You might think it's because you haven't got enough experience yet, but that's not it. It's about how schools perceive you. Schools don't automatically see agency TAs or volunteers and think, brilliant, future staff member. They think temporary, flexible, useful, but they're not invested. So the goal is to flip that perception. You're not just covering gaps, you're showing evidence of value, consistency, and initiative. Once a school sees that, they start seeing you as their person. Two. So, to make a school start seeing you as their person, follow these steps. Make every short term role feel long term. Even if you're there for a week, act like you're part of the school. Here's how. Learn their routines fast. Ask questions like, what's the morning routine for the class? Or where can I find the visual timetables? These are power questions. It shows you're not just there to supervise, you're thinking like a permanent team member. Volunteer information, don't wait to be invited. So, say things like, I noticed Sam worked really well during guided reading when he sat near the window. I thought that might help you out tomorrow. Little moments like that stick with teachers and senior leaders. Ask for feedback before you leave. Say, is there anything I could do differently next time? You'd be amazed how many agency TAs never ask that and how memorable it makes you. So you're going to stand out, and you can do the same as a volunteer, of course. Always ask for feedback so that you can improve what you're doing. 3, build a reputation that travels. So your next big win, word of mouth, because schools talk. If you've been reliable, warm, and proactive, staff will mention you when vacancies open up. Here's how to encourage that. Leave a short thank you note when you finish a placement. Thanks for having me this week. I really enjoyed supporting year 2. That kind of thing makes you stand out. And something I know used to happen in schools where I work is that if we had somebody in who was supply and they were good, at some point, one of us would go to the office and say, get that person back again. So, you've got to start acting like you're a permanent member of staff, even though you're not. Stay connected with the agency rep. Tell them what kind of school you thrive in so they can sell you to the right ones. And ask the teacher or Senko, would it be okay if I use you as a reference in future? Now, that one question can change your career, because if they agree, you now have referees so you can provide references when you make a job application. That's a big thing. So none of it's wasted. This is what this video is trying to get across to you. None of it's wasted. Start using these temporary placements as evidence of what you're doing and as a way of getting future references, as well as hopefully being asked back. This isn't about luck, it's about leaving a trail of small professional impressions that lead back to one thing: we'd love to have you back. And talking about a trail, stick around to the end because I'll share a bonus tip, a quick sentence you can add to your next application that often makes schools say yes to interview. 4, turn evidence into employability. Once you've got a few placements under your belt, start collecting proof. This is what turns "I've done some agency work" into "I'm clearly ready for a contract." So that again makes you stand out. You can gather evidence this way. You can create a mini evidence folder. So you can create a physical one or a PDF portfolio, and include a list of schools you've supported and key responsibilities you've handled, like, I supported small groups in phonics and maths. A short reflection after each role about what you learned or improved. That gives you concrete examples for interview questions like, tell us about a time you supported a student with additional needs. You'll have answers that sound like experience because they are. So can you see how the perception of, if you actually do have a lack of experience, you can start building that experience very, very quickly by recording what you've done, how you've done it, and what you've learned from it. 5, signal commitment, not desperation. When you're applying for permanent roles, your tone matters. So avoid phrases like, "I've been looking for a while and just need something stable." Instead, say, "I've enjoyed working in several different schools. Now I'm keen to bring that experience into one setting where I can make a longer term impact." So you can put that in your TA statement when you apply, or you can say that to a senior leader in a school that you're volunteering or your agency staff for. Because that's professional, confident, and it tells them you've already adapted to multiple environments, which is a huge plus for schools. It means you're flexible. And here's that bonus tip I talked about earlier. When writing your supporting statement, include this sentence: "My short-term and voluntary experiences have allowed me to develop a deep understanding of classroom routines, diverse learning needs, and how to adapt quickly to new settings. Skills I'm excited to bring into a long-term role at your school." It's respectful, positive, and it turns your application into proof of readiness. So let's recap. Treat every short-term role like a permanent one. Build relationships that travel. Collect evidence of your impact and communicate confidence and commitment. You don't need to wait for a school to see your potential. You can start showing it now. And if you want to go deeper on this, I've got plenty of helpful videos on applying for TA jobs and acing interviews. To make sure you see them, hit subscribe and join thousands of other TAs learning how to turn experience into opportunity, one video at a time. I'm Lauren Reasoner, and this is TA in Control. See you in my next video.